All right, let's go through this one here. So without a calculator, we want to find out, without a calculator, to write this as a single fraction. Okay. So the first thing I need to do is step one, I need to get some kind of lowest common denominator. I can see 4, 3, 8, and 6. So if I've got 4, 3, 8, and 6, I need to find the lowest common denominator of this. That's the same as the lowest common multiple, basically. What number can all of them divide into? So for example, can I divide 8 into all of them? No. 8 can't divide by 3 and 6. What about 16? No. As a multiple of 8. What about 24? Yeah. 24 can divide by all of them. So I could use the lowest common multiple of 24. I could also use 48 as well, which is also a lowest common denominator. It might not be the lowest common multiple, it's just a multiple though. So if I can convert each of these into that would be great. But first I need to sort these mixed numbers out and get them into improper fractions. Multiply the denominator and the numerator. Multiply the denominator and the numerator. So I end up on the next line is with 3 over 4 plus 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7 over 3. Minus 4 times 8 is 32 plus 5 is 37 over 8 plus 7 over 6. And now from here, what I got is 24 as my common denominator. So I want to get every single fraction 24. So I'm going to multiply this by 6 at the top and at the bottom. I'm going to multiply this by 8 at the top and at the bottom. 3, top and the bottom. That's 90 plus 21. What's 90 plus 21? It's 90 plus 10 is 100 plus 12, 112. Multiply this by 4 to get to 24. So multiply the top by 4 to get to 24. What you multiply at the bottom, you multiply at the top. So that's going to be 28. Plus, minus, and plus. So now I'm going to take these top numbers, plus them, minus that, and then minus that. Maybe we could do that on the side here. Okay, so I've got 18 plus 56. And I could actually plus those three first, and then minus 28 off, minus 112 afterwards. 8 plus 8 is 16. 16 plus 6? 16 plus 6 is 22. Put a 2, carry 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. That comes to 102. So I get 102 minus 112, because I haven't really minus that yet, over 24, and this looks like it's going into the negative space. If I take 112 and then minus 102 and just put a negative in front, we know that's going to become 10. So this will be negative 10 divided by 24. That's negative 5 over 12. All right, negative 5 over 12. I wonder if it's correct. Is there any errors? Can you see any errors? Maybe? How would I check this? Maybe I should put it in a calculator and just make sure it's correct. The answer should come to negative 3 over 8. So we now need to spot the error. Can you see the error anyway? And where did I go wrong? 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. So this is right, 7 over 3. 4 times 8 is 32 plus 5 is 37. That's right. That's 7 over 6. That's right. That's negative. So those fractions are all right. I multiply this by 6, multiply it by 8, multiply this by 3, and I multiply this by 4. It became 18. 7 times 8 is 56. 37 times 3. What's 37 times 3? Did I do that correctly? And I think that's where my problem is. So this is supposed to be 111. Alright, so this is 111. And if this becomes 111, then I end up with 102 minus 111. Now what's 102 minus 111? It's going to give you negative 9. So negative 9 over 12, negative 9 over 24, divide by 3 at the top, divide by 3 at the bottom, negative 3 over 8. Here we go. So the biggest problem here was that one there, but we spotted it, and we're done. It's good to check your answers in a test like that if you have time. It's always good. Let's have a look at some questions now. A request on a little bit of geometry. You might as well try some of it now. So let's have a look at a little bit of angles and a few questions on that. Okay, so I'm going to quickly find that. Some angles. All right, we'll start with 06. Just going to sign in here. All right, try this question, and then we'll go through it. All right, try this question. Press pause, give it a go. When you're done, press play. Try it first, and then we'll go through it. All right, let's go through this one now. The first thing you notice is that we have a four-sided figure. What is this called? This is called a quadrilateral, right? In quadrilaterals, the angles in a quadrilateral add to 360 degrees. So therefore, 85 plus 65 plus 154 plus the missing angle equals 360 degrees. So let's add these three up first. If I don't have a calculator, I would put it below each other like this, and I got 14. If I'm not allowed it in the test, that's 14, 15, and 20, and that comes to 304. So therefore, 304 plus some angle equals 360. So that angle we can see quite clearly should be 56 degrees. So this is going to be 56 degrees, and we're done. All right, try the next one now. Try it first and then press play. All right, guys, let's go through it now. So again, we have a four-sided figure here. So four-sided means that it adds up to 360. How do we know? If I have to connect a line like this into two triangles, angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So those three angles would add up to 180, and those three angles would add up to 180. So all four angles will add up to 360. Let's go ahead and do exactly what we did in the previous question, like that. We're going to go 37 plus 129 plus 89 plus some angle equals 360 degrees. We then place them below each other. 7 plus 9 is 16. 16 plus 9 is 16 plus 9 is going to give you 25. 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 2 is 7 plus 8 is 15. 1 plus 1 is 2. That comes to 255. So these three angles add up to 255. Plus some angle equals 360 degrees. So we got to take 360. Remember, we got a minus 255. The answer would be for this 105 degrees. All right, let's put it in and let's check if it's right. Cool. Have a look at the next one without a drawing and type your answer. Try it first and then I'll go through it. All right, so yeah, the same thing applies here. We got a four-sided figure. It will also add up to 360 degrees for this one. So we're going to have 285. It says it's a quadrilateral. So if you see quadrilateral, remember it adds up to 360 degrees. There's the fourth angle. 6 goes into 291. 291 plus 2 is 293. 7 gets you to 300. 60 gets you to 360. So this is going to be 67. Alright, and that's the answer for this one. So 67 degrees. Correct. Alright, let's go back now and let's go to 07. Okay, let's have a look at 07. Interior angles of a polygon. Give it a go, see if you can find this. Try it first, press pause and then give it a go. Alright, so for this one here, what is the measure of each angle in a regular octagon? The first thing I would do is take the corner and divide the octagon into as many triangles as possible. Now, octagon stands for 8, like an octopus, 8 sides. And if I take each side, remember it's 180 degrees. That's 180 plus 180 is 360, 540, 720 plus 180 comes to 720. So it's 360, 180 times 5, 900 plus another 180 comes to 1080. I mean 1080, right? So the sum of the interior angles is going to equal 180 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is 1080 degrees. So what does that mean? It means that if we add up all of those angles, it's going to add up to 1080. But remember, they also told us that it's regular. And regular means that every single side is equal. So this side is equal to this side, it's 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 equal to this side. So having equal sides, right, the angles are also going to be equal. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal angles because it's an octagon, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. So therefore, this is the total sum of all the angles. So if I take 1080 and divide it by 8, that will be the measure of each angle. So I take 1080 and divide it by 8. That comes to 135 degrees. So each angle will be 135 degrees. And it says in a regular octagon. If we want to find the angle on the outside, that's called the exterior angle. And that would be, if I extend this line, then this angle on the outside becomes the exterior angle. The exterior angle is found using the formula 360 divided by the number of sides, and that is actually 45 degrees. And we can also see that angles on a straight line get up to 180 degrees as well. So we could think about that when we're calculating it. So 135 is the answer there. Try the next one. Press pause, give it a go. Alright, remember the first step here, create triangles so that you can get the sum of the interior angles after that. How many triangles do we have here? Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we take 4 times 180 degrees, which comes to 360 times 2, which is 720 degrees. So each of these angles add up to 720. Check if it's regular. It is regular, so we know all the sides are equal, and we know all the angles are equal. And we've got 6 of them. So if I take 720 and divide it by 6 sides, I'll get the angle for each. So what is 720 divided by 6? 120 degrees. So that means each of those angles on the inside will be 120 degrees. All right, next question. Try it and then we turn it. This one's pretty simple, right? Because there's only one of them, so it's going to be 180 degrees, and all the angles are equal, so therefore you just take 180 divided by 3. That's 60 degrees. So it's an equilateral triangle because it's regular. So 60 degrees will be the answer for this one. We got it. Okay, so this is a random geometry test. See if you can answer each of those questions. And then we'll go through it after that. Okay. Press pause, give it a go, and then press play when you're done. Alright, let's go through this one now. So for this one here, what we want to do here is, let's have a look here. So we got angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. That's the first one over here. Alright, so let's start from there. Find the value of the missing angle. So we would take 40 plus 70. Let's call the missing angle x, okay? So plus x equals 180 degrees. And it says give a reason. And the reason is angles in a straight line. Angles in a straight line. So that's 110 plus x equals 180 degrees. So therefore x will equal 70 degrees. And you have to give a reason. So that's angles in a triangle, angles in a triangle equals 180 degrees. Sum of the angles, you could also write sum of the angles in a triangle equals 180. The next one is, well, find the value given a reason. Same reason, but this time we're dealing with a. So 30 plus a equals 180 degrees. I'm just going to write angles in a triangle equals 180 degrees. A plus a is 2a. So remember, this has to be 150, right? Because 30 plus 150 gives you 180. So 150 equals 2a. And so a equals 75 degrees. So this would be 75, and this would be 75. This would be 70. This is actually an isosceles triangle. Find the value of x in the diagram below. This angle here is known as the exterior angle. There's two ways to work this out. You could either work out this angle first, and then take angles on a straight line, add up to 180, or you could use the exterior angle theorem. Now, 40 plus 80 equals 120. 120 plus 60, this angle is actually 60 degrees because it adds up to 180. So we can go 60 plus x plus 20 must equal 180. And the reason is angles in a triangle equals 180 degrees. And also angles on a straight line, two reasons, angles on a straight line is also equal to 180 degrees. So there's two possibilities there. 60 plus 20 is 80. So we know that if this is equal to 180, 80 plus x equals 180. So x must therefore equal 100 degrees. Now the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles. So x plus 20 is equal to 40 plus 80. And this is method number 2. This is method number 1, angles in a triangle, angles in a straight line. Method number 2 is this way here. Okay, so I then move the 20 over, it becomes minus 20. So I have 120 from those two, and then minus 20, that 20 becomes minus 20, so x equals 100 degrees. The reason for that one would be exterior angle of triangle is equal to sum of interior angles of opposite interior angles. Okay. The next one. I can see an isosceles triangle here. So this must be 52 degrees. And that's the reason. The reason is because it's isosceles. So opposite angles equals equal angles, right? Because the angles are opposite equal sides. And this here is again the exterior angle. So I could keep this one simple and say 52 plus 52, which is equal to 104 degrees. And the reason is exterior angle of triangle. Now remember, we can do this in two ways. I could have still found this here and then added it up to 180 using method 1. Okay, so I use method 2 here, exterior angle. Question 5, use side and angle names to classify the given triangle. Now you've got to read your question carefully. It says use side and angle names to classify the given triangle. Firstly, let's find the missing angle. Let's call it x. So x plus 40 plus 70 equals 180. That's 110. So that comes to 70 degrees. 180 minus 110 is 70. And therefore those two will be equal because they'll both be 70, right? So how would you classify this triangle? So this is an isosceles triangle. This is an isosceles triangle. All right, those two are equal. And it's also an acute angle triangle because all the angles are less than 90, right? So it's an acute triangle and isosceles at the same time. All right, have a look at the next round. Give it a go and type your answers in. Once you're done, try it first and then I'll go through it after that. Press pause, give it a go. All right, let's go through this one now. The first one over here, we're going to add up all of these angles. So we add up those angles and then add x to get 360 degrees. When you add up 44 plus 124 plus 65, it comes to 233. And now you got a plus x, and it must equal 360 degrees because it's a quadrilateral. All right, so angles in the quad add to 360 degrees. So then x must equal 360 minus 233. And 360 minus 233 is 127 degrees. Is a rectangle a parallelogram, and why not? So the rectangle is a parallelogram because the opposite sides are parallel and equal. All right, that's one of the reasons. Is ABCD a parallelogram? All right, we can see those two angles are corresponding and corresponding, so yes, those are parallel, and those are parallel as well because of corresponding angles. Yes. Classify the following quadrilateral as a rectangle because it's got 90 degrees. And if this is 90, then this is also going to be 90. And if that's 25, then this is going to be 65. And if this is 65, B is going to equal 65. And A is going to equal 25. And the reason is alternate angles. All right, alternate angles. The next one, those two angles are equal because it's a parallelogram. So 3x equals x plus 100. Moving this over, minusing, it becomes 2x on the left hand side. Dividing by 2 on both sides gets me 50 degrees. So x equals 50 degrees for that. Okay. Let's go to the next one now. Question 11, 12, 13, and 14. Over here. Give it a go now. All right, let's go through the first one here. The angle sum of this shape. The first thing I would do is draw some lines, right, and convert it into a few triangles. So if I take one corner and draw lines to every other corner, and from there you can see I've got 1, 2, 3 triangles. So 3 times 180 degrees comes to 540 degrees. So that means if I add all of these angles up, it will add up to 540, and we put 5 of them. Okay. The question says, what is the angle sum of this shape? Well, the answer is 540 for this one. That's about it. Defining a regular polygon. It's a polygon, a polygon with equal sides and equal interior angles. What is the size of each angle in a regular decagon? Dec stands for 10, right? So if you have a decagon, let's do question 13 here. So decagon means 10. So remember, if you have a decagon with however many sides, 10 sides, and you want to find the size of each angle in a regular decagon, which means all the sides are equal, the first thing you got to do is find the exterior angle. And so the exterior angle will be equal to 360 degrees divided by 10, which is 36 degrees. So however many ways you actually get to see that, if this angle is 36 degrees, all right, and let's suppose it continues all the way for 10, and that's 36 degrees, then this angle here is going to be 180 minus 36 degrees, which will be the interior angle. 180 minus 36 is 144. So this angle here will be 144 degrees. So the exterior angle comes to 36 degrees, so therefore the interior angle will be equal to 180 minus the exterior angle. and that's equal to 180 minus 36, which is 144 degrees. Okay, let's go to question number 14. A regular polygon now, again, all the sides are equal in angles, has an exterior angle measured 15 degrees. Find the number of sides of this polygon. Let's recall this formula. The formula for exterior angle is this. Let me write it over here. Exterior angle is equal to 360 degrees divided by the number of sides. Interior angle is equal to 180 degrees minus the exterior angle. Alright, so if I use that formula here for question 14, 360 divided by n equals the exterior angle, which is 15. Then I can just swap these two around, so 360 divided by 15 is going to equal the number of sides. 360 divided by 15 is 24. So the number of sides, so therefore n will equal 24. So the number of sides for this would be 24. Alright, and we'll stop there. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good one. I'll catch you guys next week. Well done.